This is Kurt Soderberg. We're going to talk today about a really important topic of the transition from traditional grading to standards-based learning and grading starts with mindset. And so we're going to focus a little bit on mindset. And also an exciting reminder, we've started a group, educational consulting group called the Soderberg Group. We're off to a great start. We focus primarily on the transition from traditional grading to standards-based, especially at the middle school and the high school. So if you're interested in that, there'll be contact information at the end where I know we can help you out. So we're going to start with looking at what should a grade reflect. These statements or questions come from an article listed below and research done by Rick Wormley about grading. And it kind of talks, these questions or statements look at some gray area things in grading that will kind of give you a sense of your mindset currently and maybe challenge your thinking. So let's look at them. The first statement is grades should or should not reflect behavior, effort, citizenship, or time management. Statement 2, the role of final grades is or is not to teach students responsibility. Statement 3, teachers should or should not adjust students' grades based on cognitive ability, giftedness, work habits, or second language background. Statement 4, a final grade is or is not an accurate reflection of academic achievement. And then lastly, number 5, students should or should not repeatedly revise a project or essay until they meet the high standards of excellence set for it. Again, those 5 statements come from the resources listed below, asking you to think about those and talk with your staff about those, talk with your team about those. Very helpful conversations to have. Gives you a good look into your mindset as it stands. So when we look at these things, we want to talk about the 3 questions to consider when we talk about school and grading and so on. Start with this. What is the purpose of school? You should be able to answer that in your own mind. Not right or wrong, just be able to answer that in your own mind. What is the purpose of school in your opinion? Number 2, what is our purpose as educators and building leaders? All educators are leaders, no matter where they are in job responsibilities. What is our purpose as educators and building leaders? And then finally, what is the purpose of grading? When we look at what the purpose of grading is and we kind of digest that and think about that, that gives us some real insight into our thought process and our readiness to make some sort of change. So the primary purposes of grading: 1, provide feedback, not only to the student, but to the teacher, to other staff members, parents, obviously, and also to building administration. Document progress. Where is that student from on the standard from point A to however far down the road that we need them to get based against the standard. And then finally, to inform instructional decisions. This just screams DeFore's final 2 questions. What do we do if they've already learned it? What do we do if they don't have it yet? So we want to make instructional decisions based on the information that we receive from those students. I love this quote. It's from Rick Wormley. Obviously, a grade is supposed to provide an accurate, undiluted indicator of a student's mastery of learning standards. That's it. I love how definitive he is at the end. That's it. We're to report on their performance against that academic standard. So our purpose that we have kind of created, gleaned, I guess, fair and accurate grading practices, number 1. I mean, that comes right from Doug Reeves. Fair and accurate grading, that is our purpose. Also, our processes will be student focused. They'll be there to support students. We are the adults in the room. We need to make sure that we're guiding those students, and our process has to follow that. We want learning for all, and I mean all students. And I don't know any student that doesn't learn better when they get another chance to reteach and reassess on those things. And then finally, we're going to measure and report academic achievement, not behaviors. Behaviors are important, but the academic grade is separate from behavioral feedback. Behavior is important. We're going to respond to it. We're going to report on it, but it's not going to impact the academic side of that grade. So when we prep the soil for change, we have to know what our purpose is. That spills into our beliefs. That leads to structures, which are the things we put in place, the framework, and then our practices fall within those structures. For example, we might create a win period, what I need now period for all students. But what happens inside of that structure, the practices, the things that we do in there, is what matters the most. So all those things kind of spill one to the next, as the diagram shows. So what we're really talking about is a paradigm shift. We're talking going from first order change to second order change. First order change, we're working within an existing structure or view. We're tinkering within the system. We're doing more or less of something. I like the analogy of a stop sign and a stoplight. It really isn't any different. We control that intersection in a very similar way. An example in school would be, in a traditional setting, you might give 80% weight to a summative, 20% weight to a formative. Maybe you tinker with that, 85-15. Maybe you tinker with that and make it, well, we'll go 90% will be weighted on summative, 10% on formative, or you might even go so far as to say 95-5. But that's all first order change. It's all tinkering within the same system. Second order change, we're trying to see the world in a different way. We're challenging assumptions, probably that we grew up with, guaranteed that we grew up with, and working from a new and different way, or view rather. That's second order change. And that's what we're trying to get to in standards-based learning and grading. That is the difference. That looks like a roundabout. Compared to a stop sign and a stoplight, a roundabout is a whole different way of doing business at that intersection. That is the difference between traditional and standards-based. So it's really all about mindset change. We need to think about what our purpose is, what our values and beliefs are, and let that all spill down from there. Here's a great video that we came across. I'm going to move my face here. So this is called My Foray into Standards-Based Grading. You can see there it was created by a gentleman named Ed Hitchcock. On January 22nd, 2015 is when it was posted to YouTube. The link is below. I mean, this is a live link, but you won't have access to that. So you can type that into your search bar and find that video. I would recommend you watch up to the 450 mark, because that's when Ed goes into changing how you convert it to a letter grade. And I will show you that in another video. That's very simple. The video was the single most important video that we watched in terms of changing our mindset, and I think it'll do the same for you. So I hope you find it helpful. Shout out to Ed and all his great work, and just wanted to provide that for you, so you had that at your fingertips. Finally, if you'd like to reach out to me, let me move my face again. I'm going to go up here with it. My name is Kurt Soderberg. You can reach me on email, kurtsoderbergsbg@gmail.com, or on Instagram, the standards-based guy, and then on Twitter, @the SBG guy. This is my YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel. That'd be very helpful. If I can be of any assistance, you have ways to reach out to me. Shoot an email to me. I will respond very, very quickly and see if we can help you out.